Representing the 15 to 23 foot class in the center console category, the Seabourn LX21 has an overall length of 20 feet 6 inches, a beam of 8 feet 6 inches, and a max horsepower rating of 200. Designed for a big boat feel in a small boat package, she has a draft of 13 inches, a dead rise of 18 degrees, a dry weight of 2,100 pounds, and a fuel capacity of 68 gallons. Now, let's hear more from our hosts, Dave East and Rick Riles.
We're aboard the Seabourn LX21, and this is the smallest boat in their LX family of center consoles, but it certainly doesn't ride like a small boat. It's got a sharp V entry, and with that big bow flare, this boat can hold its own in that rough stuff offshore.
You saw that for yourself this morning.
Absolutely,
You know
yes.
what this boat is? I got it for this boat.
What's that?
This boat's fun, David. Okay, it has gorgeous yacht-like lines. It doesn't look like a 21-foot boat. It looks like a shorter 35-foot boat, and it's just plain fun.
The boat is just put together where it's really not a large center console, but it's much larger than a bay boat. So if you're looking for that boat to kind of fill in the size, maybe a bay boat's too small, but you're not really ready to step up into a large center console, this might be the right size 21.
You're plenty big enough to where if you go offshore on a nice day, it's plenty of boat. Now, I'm not going to go offshore on this boat on a rough day, but heck, I don't want to go offshore on a rough day anyway.
No. Any 21-foot boat that you can't take offshore, you're going to stay inside. Problem is, when you get to a bigger center console boat, they don't do very well inside. You get them in the bays and you get them in the flats, they're just too big. This boat you don't have that problem with. We're starting up here at the bow. You can talk about the inside of the boat. I want to talk about what's underneath. This boat has a really nice sharp entry, but it's got a lot of bow flare. And you saw when we went out that inlet this morning, this boat throws the water to the side. It stayed nice and dry. Never once did I have any fear of stuffing the bow because of the flare just won't allow it to happen.
Buddy, I gotta tell you, it looked like deadlift catch with you rolling out of that inlet this morning. That was really special watching it break all the way across the inlet, but the boat ate it up. I understand how impressed you are with the underside of the boat, but you know what? They put a lot of function into this bow. Sure, it's a very nice place to sit, very nice place to lay back, but all you gotta do is pop these headrests, pop these cushions, 2 insulated fish boxes under here. It'd take both of them to hold my catch. Yours maybe not so much, but you can store life jackets and stuff on one side and do your fishing the other. They maximize their space up here.
You have additional seating here on the front of the console. This is also insulated. We used it as a cooler today, but this can also be plumbed as a live well. So you have the ability to put 3 live wells on this boat if you want. So in other words, if you're fishing off of the bow, you can get your bait here. You don't have to run all the way to the back. So it's everything that you would need up here without being too much. As we move back to the console, there's something I want to talk about here because the way they've designed this console is something that we don't see on a lot of boats that we've tested in Best Boat. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, this is what I'm talking about with the ergonomics of this console, and this is not an understatement. This is something that's really hard for a boat builder to achieve. What he has done, he's got a console design that you can sit and you can stand and it's comfortable either way. Your line of sight is good. It's like sitting in your car. And here again, if this is where you're going to spend a lot of time when you're behind the helm in a boat, when you're operating your boat, what, 80% of your time is going to be right here behind that steering wheel. It's got to fit you.
Well, you're right. And this one fits me very nice standing up. And it also, because of this footrest for me is in a perfect location. I've still got my line of sight over the bow, and I'm very, very comfortable.
Well, let's look here in the back of the cockpit, because I like the way they've expanded their transom bulkhead. You've got twin built-in jump seats and a center-mounted live well.
And you've got another live well under here, and you can plumb a live well up front. Dave, I love what they did with this transom bulkhead. There's no need for a walk-through door or anything. It's the right height, very easy for a diver to get on there and just step over, and yet you're not worried about the ocean coming in on you. This is a wonderful use of space.
Well, you've got an integrated built-in bracket as well, so if you do want to step back there, if you're going to be diving, if you're going to be snorkeling, heck, if you're going to land a big fish, you can easily get over this bulkhead and you can step back there. And look at the power. Single engine, plenty. They have a 200. This boat does not need a 200. With a 150, this would be a screamer. It's very economical to operate, to purchase, and to maintain.
If I had to come up with one word for the Seabourn 2150, it would be fun.
Fun's good, mine would be function. Put those two together, and you've described this 21-foot boat perfectly.